host, Kaylee Hiwatari. Welcome to a new Let's Play of a new game, the Ace Attorney series. Well, spin-off of the Ace Attorneys, Ace Attorney Miles Edgeworth Investigations. Or shortened as Ace Attorney Investigations for the rest of this Let's Play. Anyway, we're going to start off with a new game. And begin the first episode, Turnabout Visitor. March 14th, 1:16 a.m. Question marks. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, isn't it? That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe it wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. March 14th, 2:05 a.m. Prosecutors Building, 12th floor hallway. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. The door is unlocked. Detective Gumshoe. What's this smell? It's very familiar. Blood. What the? What's the meaning of this? Freeze! Identify yourself. Shut up! You got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrust into a multitude of cases, and some very frantic and busy days. March 14th, 2:56 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Ah! Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Dick Gumshoe. He is a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... look what they did to your office. It's totally trashed. I'll say the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Whoa, sounds like you're getting really burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. That's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. The first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my interest. Why of all places did the murder occur in my office? I guess the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. So how do you use it? First I recall information through the logic button, and then connect them together. Now to touch the logic button and recall the facts. Let's see. Crime scene, my office. And the key to the office. It's really coincidence that the murder took place in my office. For security reasons, the office's door has a lock built into it. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks. Which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of the crime as mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? Why did this happen in my office? What was the killer after? New piece of logic. You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. And that is the tutorial for logic. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir. On the double, sir. Begin investigation phase. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that. And when I want to examine something, I simply press the examine button. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just touch the portrait button, okay? I'll give you I'll give you great, precise advice. As an ace investigator, sir. Something to try later, if I have the time, I suppose. Yeah, so there's the various buttons that you can see down there. Shows the location. Anyway. And back through. It took me a while to fix. I'm using joystick on my phone, and the controller I have plugged in, it would do this. But I figured out how to make it stop. For anyone else playing with the Xbox style controller with the joystick up, you just need to manually set the dead zone. I set it to like 40, and it seems to be working fine. Yeah, there you go. You cold, sir? No, I just wanted to see how you're doing. There's a couple funny things they'll say if you poke a couple of these up here. Oh, it's your trophy, the, Knight of Prosecutors, right? King of Prosecutors. It's not a trophy, it's a shield. They only send this to the winning prosecutor, right? Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, that is something only I can determine for myself. That's so slick, sir. I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime. Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me. Is this yet another batch of fresh flowers? The ones that come with a card attached. Every month like clockwork for you. Yep. Speaking of that, let's see what's on the card this month, sir. Oh, will be resolved. Wendy. Oh, Miss Irony. How painful be thy thorns. Wendy, isn't that the name of that old lady with the whiny voice? That's Stock. That's enough, detective. You need not remind me of her further. What? The tea set. What is it, tea set? You called, sir? Nope. There's the tea set. I was trying to touch the tea set. Oh, watch out for the teacup fragments here, sir. That killer is going to pay this tea set. Yikes, you're really mad over this. This tea set is very dear to my heart and can only be bought in England. It costs more than your whole month's paycheck. What? Now I feel like the killer's wasted one of my hard-earned paychecks. finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Start with his hand. Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. It looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yep. And until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know how much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Crime scene notes jotted down in the organizer. Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know how to keep track of them. Alright, if you say so. I'll keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to touch the organizer button. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. Okay, check this. What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police badge, detective. Of course you've seen it before. Oh hey, I have the exact same thing. Actually, what a coincidence. Let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective just like you. It's not telling me I'm done yet, since this is a tutorial, so there should be more here to look at. Probably. I thought I checked his hand, but maybe I didn't get it close enough. Nope. Okay, so nothing to do there. Your files all over the floor, sir. They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. There we go. That was it. Let's see. Oh, and I tried so hard to keep the place spotless while you were away. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I watered the flowers every day, just like you asked, sir. I just added cleaning in onto the list as a weekly special. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled. Does he have a life? I don't believe it! I packed these files on these shelves so tight. Not even an earthquake could make them fall off, but just look at them. At this rate, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all. Problem to be sure. Well, once the investigation is over, we'll put them back up on the shelf. There's one there's supposed to be a pistol around here. Did I get it actually? Oh yes. I already checked this area. Okay. So that tells me I did actually find everything I needed to there. Awesome. Here's the pistol I was looking for. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. I think I've seen one of these before. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model. I think. Detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. Gumshoe. But now that I think about it, you do see the model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by this precinct's detective. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Guess that tutorial land. Signs of a struggle. My files are all a mess, pointing to a struggle between the victim and the killer. The killer's goal. Why did this happen in my office? What was the killer after? Victim was a detective. According to his badge and ID, Buddy Faith was a precinct detective. Revolver. Found at the crime scene. Same model as the ones used by precinct detectives. Connect that dot and this dot. The revolver, a standard model used by detectives, could have belonged to the recently departed. Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What have we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. This guy's wearing a gun holster. So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Victim's revolver data jotted down in the organizer. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. As I always say, you've got to look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use the scroll wheels to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use the slide bar or the X and Y arrows to zoom in and out to get at the nitty-gritty. Looks like only one round was fired from this. Wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wrestling the gun from him? Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. I guess this is about all we're going to find out. We should send the body to Ott. Jim! Why, oh why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? Are you alright? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be! Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk about him like that. Like that. He's not just a lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure, just in a blood-stained coat, pal. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes, I am. I'm Jakes Portman, prosecutor. Jim here was my partner in crime bustin'. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I'm also a prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office. Yes, that is correct. Then it was you! You're the one who killed Jim! Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not. I know how things work around here. High prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could have been in here last night was me. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. So it was you then. You're Jim's killer. No way, pal. You've got it all wrong. Everyone calm down. Mr. Portsman, correct? If you're a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. I hear something of a legend around here, you know? Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now how about a handshake to seal the deal? No thanks. A pleasure to work with you, I'm sure. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then. It's your room after all. Thank you, I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there. Sir. I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. I should probably give them some space. I can't really investigate that area right now, but I don't want to. I want to look at it. What is this? Ah, your jacket, sir! What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to frighten me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra-special jacket you made your prosecutor's debut in? What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not while there's something more here. Huh? Like what? I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There's a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence, or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. Bullet hole. This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that is off, I should touch the deduce button with conviction. And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. The revolver.
Eureka!
This bullet hole is a contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary, my dear Gumshoe. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled this frame. Hey, that's right. However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too. Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Oh, it's a secret safe. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money. I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that. Talk about dusty! I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here, or I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. So when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. That's it. Don't talk about squashing my hopes and dreams, sir. Secret safe data jotted down in my organizer. Don't rest until I've examined every nook and cranny. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad. Don't you find it to be a bit too clean? Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, the forensics specialist. Yes, sir? Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. Secret safe data updated. As I thought. It appears that logic is the only way around this one. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have. Okay. Other than the victim's gun that I found, could there be another gun in play here? All of the fingerprints on this have been wiped clean off. Why did this happen in my office? What was the killer after? My files are a mess, pointing to a struggle between the victim and the killer. No, I don't want that one. That one. I believe I figured out what the murder was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. New piece of logic. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. Motive theft. The culprit tried to open my safe. Was the killer's motive theft? There's a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir. I'm gonna shelve files like you've never seen before, even in a library. Sure. Let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No, not really. No matter how much we lament, the dead do not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And? So what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? First, we can only restore the files to their rightful place. You got it. Here, let me help. So this file goes here, and that book goes there. You sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. The bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. And then the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out. Detective. I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now. But you know I'm not good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. Okay. So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh? The bullet will be lodged so squarely in a file's spine, indicates that the files were ransacked. After. Or before. Then I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. Bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. The body was found at around 2:05 a.m. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? There's clearly a contradiction here with the bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. And that means, what does it mean? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mind detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole's position? The position of the body, the position of the handprints, the order of the files. I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back wrong, sir? In the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh. Yeah, you see here, though, the files that were shot begin with the number 0. What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they're organized now is the correct order. They're exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they're arranged a little differently. But from this we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, Detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. Do you think it would be okay to prop the body back up to see how it was before it was moved? They're finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first, before shooting Mr. Faith. And then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly. And then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice. Once before and once after the crime, but why? Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. Let's look at these bloody letters over here. This... It says... Oh no! Not Gumshoe! Poor Gumshoe. What is that? Why does it say Gumshoe on there in blood? It says some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed. No, wait, there's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me. Say something, sir. It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? Stolen file data jotted down my organizer. Investigation complete. So, with that, yeah. So that I'll do a save and we'll be back. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of the killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I would sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words. They're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it. I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. And there must be some sort of flaw in his logic, waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you going to do? What I always do in court. I'm going to cross-examine him. One way for another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Ooh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir? I guess I can explain it for newbies watching this Let's Play. Whoops. Sorry about that. Alright, first I'll listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open the organizer and present a piece of contradictory evidence. To present something, I simply touch the present button, but that's old news. But it's not like there's going to be a flaw in their testimony every time, right? Correct. And at those times I need to press the witness by touching the press button. Sometimes by pressing I can draw out new information and new or modified testimony. I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique during investigations, too. Very well. I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully. toe-to-toe sportsman. His logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer. I can hear Jim's voice, and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There is no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. Rebuttal. Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? The body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. But judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for you, detective, to miss something. Who do you think you are, pal? You know nothing about me. There's a lot a person can understand about another from first impressions alone. I can't say I disagree with him on that point. Well, why don't you say something, sir? No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth. Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it with evidence. I couldn't ask for a better setup. For the game finish and spike. What's this piece of evidence? Oh, right, got it. And that is, oh, right, the blue letters, okay. Stolen file. One of the files that were written upon in blood was stolen by the culprit.
Objection!
Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic. Bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem. I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking, I get it. If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible! What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner. I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on that spine. It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters and the detective's name where the file should be as proof. Yeah, I mean, the S is gone and there's only half an H. If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case. I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name, written in blood on those files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Ugh! Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message? It makes it the work of a criminal, intent on tampering with the crime scene. That's so low! I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir. You'll see, I'm gonna have them under arrest for this one in no time. Well, Mr. Portsman. Brilliant, absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. Meh, you win some and you lose some. That's how life goes. Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. But you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however... What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal? Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office? That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal. That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? Well, I was thinking, did you know there is one other person with a key to this office? One other person. Hey, you there! Yes, sir, what is it, sir? Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? A lady? The girl is a member of the building's security. Think of her as a material witness. Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal, don't! What's wrong with him all of a sudden? It's Maggie. I believe she needs no introduction. I've called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of security. Detective Gumshoe, sir? Maggie! Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight. I see. And your point is? My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the key which can open all the office doors in this building. What? If you're not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird. How dare you! I would never sneak into someone's room! That's right, I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right, I did it. Can we take that as a confession, Detective? Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problem with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime. And for one simple reason. Reason for suspicion. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all that more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. So you're saying she used the master key. Master key data draw down my organizer. Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. And it's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. Rebuttal. So, press every statement time. Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird? That's, true, but... Man, I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to. What's this supposed to mean? Yes, moving on. I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated. What do you mean, unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal. But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time. Should I hear Miss Bird out? But of course. Not so fast. I, too, am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that, Miss Bird, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m., sir. What do you mean by missing? As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. I'm not lying, sir.
Objection!
If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now. I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. A likely story. And where is your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again. I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Yeah, pal, trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth. But... You still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office. A motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. It is as Mr. Portman says, detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counteract with a few facts of my own. Her intent, from the messed up shelves to the wiped down safe, I'd say thievery. Stop flapping your stupid jacket. Secret safe. Each prosecutor has one in their office. Only they know of them. Prints were wiped.
Objection!
Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something. Why not? It's the truth after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe. The sentence of which is only privy to prosecutors. The existence, sir. I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was a part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Yeah, even I didn't know about that safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion. It's definitely looking more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? Curses! What made you... What's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault. What do you mean? It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safe. What did you just say? We were partners. Like, inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safe. And that means... Yeah, I know. I'd only just told him too. Obviously it was wrong of me to tell him. Still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief. And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird. Excuse me? I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. The killing is going a bit too far, even if in your risky profession. What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder? Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was justified self-defense, wasn't it? No! I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir. Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have a key to this office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless... Well, unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out? You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office. But I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You are all suspects, to varying degrees, and therefore, ineligible to run this show. Listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. But sir, we have no choice but to accommodate his request for now. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman, we will meet again. If there's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now don't disappoint me, you hear? To be continued. That's our first run of the game. Wow. Well, that's it for this part of the case. Next time, we'll keep doing more investigating with Miles Edgeworth. Till then, I'm your host, Kaylee Otari. Please like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.